Anchor the Light meditation. I know we were testing a few minutes ago. Anyway, before we start, let's ask for divine blessing, shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, Holy Masters, Saints, Archangels, Holy Angels, and spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Tokok Sui, Mahaguji Mailing, we humbly invoke for divine light, divine love, guidance, help, healing, and divine protection. Thank you for blessing us with a loving heart, an intelligent mind, and a powerful will, that we may be of service to others. We thank you in full faith. So it is. All right, so a lot of you have joined me for this past weekend for the Spiritual Essence of Man and the Chakras and Inverted Tree of Life class. Thank you very much. I know it was pretty intense. We did, 10, 12 meditations, and a lot of you probably got fried, which is what I had in mind. You know, we never do anything halfway, right? And so anyway, I hope you guys are surviving. The rest of you have not. In the future, we should have that class again. Now, just want to talk a little bit about balance, all right? A lot of people talk about balancing their spiritual life, balancing this, balancing that. And when I think back of this class this weekend on the Spiritual Essence of Man, basically the Tree of Life, it reminds me of, when you have the Tree of Life, it's like 3 bars, and a bar going down the middle. And these 3 bars are actually what you call pair of complementary opposites. And I just want to share that with you because a lot of us, we get on the spiritual path, we don't really think about, spirituality balancing with money, spirituality balancing with relationship, whatever. We have a tendency to just focus on one, not the other. And the 3 bars they represent, the first bar is balancing intuition with intellect. Okay? And you've heard me say this before. A lot of you are very, very intuitive. You get a lot of signals coming from the energy world. Just imagine it's just pure energy. And it's formless. And your brain, actually not your brain, but your Ajna Chakra, this is the chakra for active intelligence. So in other words, intuition has to be balanced with a sharp mind, because your sharp mind allows you to take that formless information and turn it into concepts and principles. Otherwise, the most common thing people say is, yeah, I had a vision of this, I had a vision of that. What does that mean? You get the idea? So one of the ways to do that is to just really study. Because when you study a lot, it makes your brain more pliable. So when information comes in, it can adjust to say, okay, when this data comes in, it means this. When this data comes in, it means that. Otherwise, there are a lot of people who are very, very sensitive. And they get a lot of signals, but they have no clue what the heck they're doing. They say, I don't know, I just had this dream, I saw light, I say this, I saw that. I'll give you an example. Some people say, oh, I'm doing my meditation, I saw this brilliant, brilliant violet light. And I don't know what it means. And a few minutes later, I start noticing that there's some reddish color coming towards me. What does that mean? And then after that, I just felt like, oh, it's so peaceful. What does that mean? Well, once you understand what these colors mean, you go, oh, well, because when the spiritual energy comes in, it's high frequency, it's kind of violet in color. When it goes down to your body and hits the base of your spine, your basic chakra has a lot of red, orange, and yellow. So therefore, that means the energy has already settled into your basic, so it grounded you. And so when you balance from spiritual and material, there's a sense of balance, there's a sense of calmness. Oh, I didn't think about that. Exactly the point. So when you sharpen your mind, your mental faculty can take that raw material and do what with it? And then use it to make it into principles and concepts that you can apply. Now, a little inside tip for you. What if there's a way to make your brain, I'll just say your brain, but it's actually your brain, your nervous system, to be able to interpret that a little faster? Well, you have the upper chakras, and then you have the ajna, which has to do with synthesizing, understanding, and you have your throat chakra, which is called the lower mental body or the concrete mind. When you say concrete mind, it means, okay, I see the big picture, now I need to break it down to details. That's your throat center. That's why it's called knowledge. This is understanding, this is knowledge. Knowledge is when you take information, broke it down to concept and principle, and give it details. Now it can be applied. So your throat chakra has to do with details, and the easiest way to stimulate it, when you have all this information come in, is to write it and journal it. Okay? Because when you're writing something, you say, oh yeah, I had a dream last night, or in meditation I saw this, I saw that. It's very vague. Then you notice that after a few minutes later, if you don't talk to anybody, it just kind of poof, disappear. Because what happens is it vibrates at such a high rate, your chakras just gotta grab a hold of it, but it was never pulled down to the lower centers, so it became just kind of light and then dissipate. But once you start writing it down, you're engaging your physical body to bring that vibration down, and as you write it, it forces your throat chakra to give it all the intricate details. So as you journal it, what happens is your brain goes, oh, yeah, and I remember this, and I remember that, I remember this, I remember that. Make sense? Another thing, when you see stuff in the energy world, oftentimes there is no timestamp. Right? Many years ago, I remember a message that said, I saw, he had a vision of certain things happening, the economy is going to tank and all these things, when the economy is doing very, very well. And he said the problem with those things, when you see in the energy world, there's no timeline. There's no timestamp. Say, okay, this is going to happen this time. So that's why you have all these people say, oh, I see the world ending, I see this, I see that. And it comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. After a while, they go, forget you, man. Right? Because they make predictions, but there's no timestamp. So the question is, what do you do? First of all, you have to remember one thing which frustrates a lot of people who are so-called psychics and clairvoyants. Okay? And you might be one of them. I cannot tell you how many people tell me, oh, I saw these things and I don't know when it's going to happen. When it actually happens, they feel so bad. They go, why can't I do anything about it? Sounds familiar? You saw something, oh yeah, you saw, I don't know, I'll just make something up. Let's say a volcano exploding. And I can't do anything about it. I can't tell the town to move. And it doesn't happen, then I don't know how many years later it happens. You go, and you feel so bad, you go, well, listen carefully. This is one of the biggest stuff that people say. Well, if I'm not able to do something about it, why did they show it to me? Sounds familiar? Some of you going, yeah, how'd you know that? Because I hear it all the darn time. So listen carefully. The job of the reporter is to observe and report. That's it. It doesn't mean that if you have a reporter that sees something, they have to go and fix it. Every soul have their own job. Some of you, it just so happens your radar is like, ding. It doesn't mean that you see it, you have to fix it. Make sense? I hear that all the time. It's like, oh, I saw this, I saw September 11th, I saw this, oh, they start crying and go, are you done? Stop feeling sorry for yourself. They go, what? You're being so harsh? No, you're being ridiculous. It's just so, it's like you walk around, you see something happen. It doesn't always mean, the key word is always, it doesn't always mean that when you see something, it is your obligation to do something. For all you know, your job is because you just need to see it, to be able to help someone, report it to someone so it can help them. Or you see it because part of you needs to see it for your own growth. Make sense? Otherwise, you're going to go nuts because the more you meditate, the antenna becomes more sensitive to sense higher frequencies. And you already know, before anything happens materially, it happens spiritually, right? It happens in the energy world. So imagine if you see everything that's going to happen in many, many lifetimes of different types of souls and different dimensions, and you suddenly go, I need to fix this, I need to fix it. Yeah, good luck to that. You're going to live a life of misery and frustration. That's why the brain has to be sharp. So you can say, okay, this doesn't apply to me, this applies to me, this means this means that. Because without that, you're going to go absolutely crazy. And journaling is very, very important because when you journal stuff, you write something down. Okay, today I had this vision, this dream, you write it down. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, at some point, you start to see a pattern. Make sense? Once you see a started pattern, you get an idea, okay, that's how my antenna works. That's how my radar works. And then as you interpret, you go, okay, I get the sense that all I see, what I see has to do with, I'll just make something up. What I see is like certain patterns in politics, or what I see is certain patterns in human development, or certain patterns I see is like, a lot of people go through emotional pain. I do notice this when that's happening. Okay, that's where I need to apply. You're not expected to fix everything. To think so, it's just pure arrogance. I've seen that to many clever and psychics. Oh yeah, I see this. I can't. How come I didn't fix it? I'm sitting there and going, "Are you done? You're full of yourself." And they're like, "Oh, I can't believe you just said it." Yeah, you really think you're gonna save the entire world? Just because you had one vision? Are you kidding me? And they're like, "How come you're so harsh?" No, because if I keep saying, "No, it's okay," I'm enabling your nonsense. And you go, "You're too harsh." If somebody doesn't tell you straight in your face, you're going to be in that delusion for the next 20 lifetimes, isn't it? So that's why when the mind is sharp, you get to analyze, you get to understand, and you get to say, okay, basically I'm just the observer. This is what's happening in the universe. That is that. Done. Or certain times you go, I think what's happening is a sign for me to change my attitude. Or what I see in the inner world, maybe it's just telling me that I'm focusing too much on spirituality. I need to focus more on my financial stuff. Get the idea? So that happens when you journal. Because when you journal, it forces the spiritual energy that comes in, that high frequency information, to be understood and to be concretized. I'll give you an example. Because sometimes, you say, hey, you're so vague. You're so vague. Many years ago, one of our students told me, out of nowhere, she goes, "You know what I saw?" I go, "Okay. What is it?" And she was very serious. "You know what I saw?" Okay, I'm listening. She goes, "I saw all of us, going to this place and we're meditating." I go, "Okay, and?" She goes, "There's this place high up in the mountain and the doors were not like this, like squarish. It's like, it goes like that. Like, when you go to the Middle East or India, a lot of places, temples, the doorways look like that and they open like this." Okay, I said, "All right." And she goes, "Yeah, I noticed that like 10, 15 of us, or maybe 20 of us or so, were sitting in a circle, and Grandmaster Toxie, our teacher, was standing in the middle, and we're all holding hands when we're meditating." I go, "Forget it, I don't hold hands. That ain't me." I just told her, I go, no, that's what I saw. I said, "Okay, tell me. So she started telling me, "Yeah, we meditated, and we held hands, and Master was giving us some instruction, and poof, that's it." And she goes, "What's that mean?" I go, "How should I know? Write it down." So she journaled it. And she followed instructions, she journaled it. A few months later, she had another dream. It got more detailed. Like, we were riding a bus, we went to this place, and she told me about it. I go, and same thing. What does it mean? I go, "I don't know. Write it down." She wrote it down. Anyway, this happened for like maybe two or three more times. And then maybe 6 months to a year later, out of nowhere, we got a phone call from my teacher. He says, "Oh, it's the first Wesak festival that we're going to have in the United States." Wesak is the most powerful full moon of the year. It commemorates the birth, death, and enlightenment of the Buddha. Okay, so we got this phone call and says, "Oh, we're supposed to meet certain part in the East Coast, and we'll meet here, and then we'll go to this place." I said, "Okay, whatever." So we met at this airport, and I'm not going to bore you with details. And at some point, we were riding this bus. Okay, go up to this mountain. I go, I didn't even think much of it. When I got to this place, it's just a big old, I don't know, almost like a big house, big warehouse, temple, not really temple, big warehouse or something like that. And for whatever reason, when we walk up to the entrance, it looked like one of those. And she goes, "That's what I saw." I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I was like, okay? And we went in, and it's this open hall, and we're going to do the meditation. So my teacher said, "Well, it's a small group, so we don't need to arrange our chairs. Put yourself in a circle and hold hands." I go, "Ah!" That's what she saw. And then, anyway, without boring you with much detail, what she saw actually happened. You see, here's my point. She saw it the first time, bits and parts of it. I could not have been able to interpret what that was. So, by doing journaling, guess what happens? You get to see certain patterns. Also, by journaling, at some point you also notice that your dreams become more vivid. You also notice that your meditations become more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're meditating, you're floating in outer space, but you get to direct your attention wherever you want. Because your brain and nervous system, your incarnated soul and higher soul are now working in sync. Make sense? So all that to just tell you, the first bar in the tree of life is balancing intellect and intuition. Now, some of us who are very mental, like I'm an engineer by trade, we have a tendency to overthink something, right? Some of you are watching me. I don't have that problem, receiving information. So that's one side. Then the other side is like, people like me is like, what information? It has to be logical, so you have, on the other side, you overthink everything. So if you overthink everything, what happens? You just say, oh, this means this means that. Oh, I don't know. You overthink everything then. So the data coming in cannot get through because it's muddied by all your thoughts. So that's why you have to balance these two. Make sense? So when you do your meditations, practicing stillness, you're increasing that side of you to be able to receive that data. In your waking moment, when you're not meditating, you have to study. Study spiritual teachings, study math, science, whatever. Read, understand, because that sharpens your mind, trains your mind to be able to register that raw material coming in and make sense out of it. Okay? So that's why you get the best of both worlds. This is a kind of a raw example, but some of you have studied the New Testament. You remember St. Paul said, there are people who speak in tongues, right? In the church, they start going, whatever. They say stuff, and then people go, what does that mean? And St. Paul says, even when somebody's speaking in tongues, it does not edify or help the church if there's no one to interpret it. Make sense? In other words, you have all these great visions, but if there's no translation, it's useless. So the sharpening of the mind allows you to translate spiritual signals into mental signals and to be actionable information. So that's why the two are important, right? Because I've seen a lot of spiritual practitioners, they're very, very intuitive. Their crowns are ginormous. And you look at their life, it's still a big fat mess. You know why? Because they have that data, but they can't do anything with it. So the key is balance. Balance the intuition with the intellect. Make sense? I'll just go to the other two quickly and then we'll meditate. The other one is balancing loving kindness with severity. Okay, that's the second bar. Anyway, it's in the book. If you get the book, it's in there. Balancing loving kindness and severity. Now, if you're a parent, you're a pro at this. Your kid messes up, you go, I love my kid so much. I just want to forgive them and let the thing pass. Then part of you go, if I just let things go, I don't give them some form of reprimand, put them on timeout, take their cell phone or whatever, or ground them, this kid's going to be a spoiled brat. So you think about it, okay, I love him so much, but if I love him too much, without practicing any form of severity, you're enabling the bad behavior. But if you're too severe, you ruin the relationship, they run away. Make sense? So by understanding this, you go, okay, we have to balance intuition and intellect. Then we also have to balance what? Love and severity, which is basically what we do with our relationships, right? If somebody's not doing something right, you go, oh, I love you so much. Okay, let it pass. Then at some point, the other person says, ooh, I can get away with stuff. But on the other hand, if you're too strict, people are going to say, forget you, man, I'll go somewhere else. Make sense? So there's also that balancing act. The third bar, again, in a future time, we'll kind of break this down and talk about it. The third one, 1, 2, 3. The third one is balancing power and transformation. In other words, if there's a conflict in front of us, choice one, squash it. Right? Just take a sledgehammer. Choice number two, understand the situation. Try to find out, okay, is there a way to transform this situation from a conflict, harmonize it so something better comes out of it? You notice that oftentimes we're stuck with that, right? If there's a certain conflict at work, at home, you go, I could just get this over with, just fire everybody. These people made a mistake, this person made it, okay, get your ass out of here. That's one way to do it. You'll fix the problem. Another way to say, okay, what actually happened? Oh, you misunderstood what they said, and this person misunderstood you. Oh, because of that, you got upset and you threw the plate at his face, whatever. You go, okay, let's sit down. Let's talk about it. Let's transform this because you misunderstood, so you did this, so it was not on purpose. Yes. Okay, why don't you shake hands, hug, and whatever, go out for a drink. So in the end, it's also fixed because the problem goes away. One is like this. The other way is what? Harmonizing it. So if you think about it, a lot of these spiritual teachings that we have, a lot of them are like guidelines for us to use in life. So the first bar, and then we'll meditate, the first bar is balancing what? Intuition with intellect. The second one is balancing loving kindness and severity, right? The third one is balancing power, now using the use of force and the use of transformative, or may I use the word alchemy? Alchemy is transforming something that's of low vibration to high vibration. In other words, you're trying to harmonize it instead of just kind of destroying it. And if you think about it, and I'm sharing this with you because it's fresh in my head after teaching class this past weekend, as we go through life, it's almost like these three things are constantly playing in our life. You notice that? You say, okay, when should I use force? Or when should I just let things be? Right? Or when should I really press, and when should I just kind of try to make things work a little better, harmonize it. So this allows the soul to adjust. And to finish it off, the way my teacher explained it is like this. He said the soul is like a diamond, like a gemstone with many facets. So each lifetime, we're polishing one or more of the facets. So in one lifetime, you could be like, oh yeah, you're a warrior. Next lifetime, you could be a monk. Or one lifetime, you could be a monk, right? Practicing, oh yeah, no, yeah. So you substantially master spirituality. Next lifetime, the soul will insert itself to be in the business world. Because that soul has substantially mastered the spiritual life, but has no clue about material life. That's why some of you, you're in the business world, you go, it doesn't feel like I belong here. Maybe I need to go to the mountains and meditate. Nope. You're running away from your destiny. Because the soul is constantly changing to be able to polish all the different sides. So some of you who are business people, you go, somebody's inviting me to go meditate. Yuck. To sit there and do nothing? Come on. Can I bring my iPad and give a schedule to this meditation? No. Set it aside. You're like this, you go. That's a side you have not polished. That's why it's funny, to apply to everyday life. You already know this. If you go exercise, you work out, you know this already. The exercises that you don't want to do at the gym are the ones your body needs. True? You want to do the same thing over and over because this is easy. But the stuff you want to do, those are the muscles that are not developed. It's just like the soul. There are facets that are already overdeveloped. Some of your intuition are super, super developed, but your mind is not sharp enough. That's why you space out a lot. Some of you overthink everything so that your mind is so crowded, the signal coming down that it's like, hey, you don't hear it, right? Some of you, your heart is so active, you're so loving, even when something is wrong, you don't have the heart to tell someone. So you lack that what? Make sense? So I'm sharing this with you because balance, as we said before when we started, balance is important in many, many aspects. And oftentimes, I know you don't want to hear this, the soul is in a particular place, a particular occupation, a particular circumstance, not because somebody's attacking you. That's always the biggest common excuse I hear. Oh yeah, I'm having this difficulty because somebody's attacking me. That's called the damn excuse. It's an excuse because you don't want to learn the lesson. That's why you give it, yeah, somebody's attacking me there. No. How do you know that so-called attack is nothing more than a lesson we have not yet learned? That we have to put yourself in there and say, okay, I can do this. And when you come out, you go, wow, that was actually a blessing in disguise. Are we communicating? So I hope this helps you. I know it's kind of harsh, but I just sense that sometimes we use spirituality as an escape from learning lessons. I know that's a harsh statement, but it's true. I've done it many times. When a certain problem is in front of me, oh, I'll go to the mountains and meditate. No, stay and fix. Right? No, I'll go chant Om. Chanting Om will not fix the family problem. Clear? So The key is to have the soul take whatever circumstances is in front of it and use whatever means to learn the lesson so you can polish that side of the diamond. Okay? All right. Some of you go, man, I didn't expect this Monday morning beat up. No, that's not the purpose. It's just to show you how important balance is. Otherwise, we have a tendency, our mind have a tendency to give excuses left and right. And I remember when I was with my teacher, he never tolerated any of my excuses. He'd just sit there and just say, and your point? Oh, but Master, you don't realize the energy world. He goes, what's it got to do with it? What's happening to you? I don't know, maybe the frequencies, the planets are not in alignment, That's another thing. People say, oh, but Mercury is retrograde. Okay, there might be an influence. You heard that, right? Mercury retrograde, that communication, it might be an influence, but it does not completely affect everything. Because if it does, all communication will come to a screeching halt and everything got jumbled. You won't even be able to turn on your computer. Right? So, you don't use that as an excuse to fail. You say, okay, this is happening, maybe this is happening. Okay, how do I get around it? There's always a way. There's always a way around it. To finish it off, here's the way my teacher explained. He goes, if there's a boulder in front of you, a boulder of obstacle, you have several choices. You get on top, you get below, you go around it. Last resort, you blast through it. That's how the soul evolves. Not by saying, well, it's a boulder. That's a nice boulder. That's interesting. Ooh. You never get anywhere. Make sense? That happens in our relationships, our finances, our spiritual development, our education. So, that said, some of you probably turned this off already. Let's meditate. Take your left hand, tap the center of your chest. Take your right hand, tap your crown. Put your hand like this. We'll do the meditation twin hearts. Yeah, after all that Ajna chakra and throat chakra, let's do heart chakra to balance. Visualize the earth in front of you. But before we do that, just put your hands together. Focus on your crown. I am that. I'm not the body, I'm not the emotion, I'm not the thoughts, I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, love, and power. I am that, the soul, the spiritual self. I'm connected in one to my higher soul. I'm connected in one to the divine spirit in me. I am a child of God. I am one with God. I am one with all. There is only oneness. Just allow your awareness to just drift above your crown. I am that. Just be still. Now imagine all of us are inside the big bright sun looking out into the solar system and paying special attention to the beautiful planet Earth. Just say our hearts are one, our crowns are one, our souls are one, our spirits are one. Now in this oneness, we allow ourselves to simply be channels and instruments to bless Mother Earth. So open your hands in blessing. Just say our hearts are one. So be aware of your heart and your hands. Collectively, let's bless the earth with beautiful pink light. So much loving energy is flowing through us as one. We will use the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred anywhere in the world, let me sow love. Bless every person, every being on earth with peace and with love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Where there's doubt, let me sow faith. Where there's despair, let me sow hope. There's so many people right now who are suffering for many reasons. Many from the pandemic, many from the financial things that happened because of it, many because of relationship issues, and some just pure spiritual loneliness. Bless every person, every being with a new hope and a new faith that yes, This too shall pass, things will get better, so be it. Bless them with hope and faith and a better tomorrow, so be it. Where there's darkness, let me sow light. Darkness is the absence of spiritual light. So many people are in darkness because they're so focused and entangled in the material world that they forget they are a spiritual being having a physical experience. Awaken within them the spiritual light. So it is. And when there's sadness, let me sow a tremendous amount of joy. May every person, every being on earth be blessed with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and faith, with light and lots of joy. So be it. So be it. Just say, our hearts are one. And just allow your heart to open up even more. Let that intense love from within us join us one light. Fill the earth with even more greater love. Fill your family with love. Your relatives, your friends, fill them with love. The ones who are in conflict, bless them with love and forgiveness. The ones who are in despair, bless them with hope and with faith and a better tomorrow. So be it. So be it. You might feel your hands tingling. You might feel a pressure in your chest or your body. That's just the energy flowing. Just let it flow through us as one. Now be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Be aware of your crown. And exhale. And stay there. And just say, our crowns are one. Now be aware of your crown. Then collectively, from our crown centers, allow a beautiful golden light to flow through us as one, coming out of the sun, filling the entire earth. From the heart of God, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with love and kindness. Let all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. May all be blessed without exception, including the people we don't get along with. May they be blessed with peace, with love, and with kindness. So be it. Just flood the earth with so much golden light. So much golden light. Now be aware of your heart. Be aware of your crown. Take a deep breath. And as we exhale, project a beautiful, brilliant beam of golden light from all of us through the sun to the entire earth. Again, take a deep breath as you focus on your heart and crown. Inhale. And together, let's project a beautiful, intense golden light from the sun into the earth. Let it penetrate through the atmosphere, the land, the sea, the air. Let it flood every person, every being, including all the animals, all the visible and invisible beings. Let the golden light penetrate to the earth's core. Just saturate the entire earth with this beautiful golden light. From the center of the heart of God, through my soul, through my entire being, may every person, every being on earth, in the higher worlds, the middle worlds, even the lower worlds, let all beings in every dimension, without exception, in every direction, above and below, be blessed with unconditional love and kindness. Let all beings, especially all beings that are suffering, be blessed with inner peace and inner healing. May they be soothed of their pain, sorrow, and suffering. So be it. So be it. Can you feel the compassionate energy flowing through you? Just let it flow through us as one, blessing every person, every being with peace, with love, with mercy and compassion. So be it. Let it be unconditional. And let it be without any exceptions. All means all. So be it. May all be blessed with inner peace, inner healing. May all be blessed with harmony, with understanding. May all be blessed with goodwill and the willingness to do good. So be it. So be it. And so it is. Now just be still. In this stillness, massive amount of spiritual light will flow through us. Just be still. If you feel a current going through you, just let it flow through you. If you feel a pressure, a heat, cold, any sensation, that's just the energy flowing through us and our bodies are responding to it. Just let it flow through you. Put your entire attention on the earth. Blessings be to all. Now, pour that energy to all the areas that have been affected by fires in the western United States. Visualize that energy of love, of light and power completely extinguishing all the fires, blessing all the people, the animals, the vegetation, the land, with healing, with regeneration. So be it. So be it. Just pour that light to those areas and visualize all the fires completely be put out. Simultaneously bless all the firefighters with divine protection and good health. So be it. Then pour that energy to your country, your city, your state, to the hospitals, to all the people who are sick with the pandemic. Flood them with inner healing light. Heal their body, heal their emotions, heal their mind. And allow that energy to pour into all the caregivers. Bless them with divine healing energy and divine protection. So be it. And direct all that healing light to everyone else in society. Bless them with the inner strength to continue serving others. Bless them with good health and divine protection. So be it. Let the brilliant light flowing through us bless all our leaders on all levels with love and kindness, with the inner strength to do what is right, to practice complete selfless service, to exist only to serve the people who brought them into office. Let there be peace with love. Let there be courage. Let there be the inner strength to serve. May all these leaders be divinely blessed by God. So be it. So be it, and so it is. May every person, every being be blessed on all levels. So be it, so be it, and so it is. Now maintain your state of oneness and maintain your state of stillness. With your eyes still closed, tongue still in the roof of your mouth, just lower your hands on your lap, palms up. Just be still. A few inches above your head, imagine a beautiful golden star, a beautiful miniature sun. Be aware of the love within your heart. Send a stream of love from your heart up, up, up to your throat, up to the center of your head, past your crown, higher, higher, and let it dissolve into that golden star. and stay there. Be still. Your entire awareness is inside that golden star. You're not the body, you're not the emotion, you're not the thoughts. You are the soul, a being of pure energy and light. You are that. Silently say, I am that. The soul, the spiritual self. Just be still. Just be still. Allow your awareness to just simply drift deeper and deeper into that golden star. You, the soul, the spiritual self, are immersed in an ocean of brilliant golden light. You, the soul, the spiritual self, are swimming in an ocean of intense divine love. You, the soul, the spiritual self, are empowered with goodwill and the willingness to do good. So it is. Be still. You, the soul, are listening now. Let go. Let go. Go deeper into that light. Gently, very, very slowly, come back to your physical body. Gently move your fingers, move your toes. This will help you slide back into your physical waking consciousness. Take your time. Slowly come back. Open your eyes. You guys all right? Open your hands now. Let's release the excess energy. First, imagine all the people you love. Just line them up in front of you. Flood all of them with beautiful golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with happiness, with abundance and prosperity, and spirituality. So be it. So be it. Bless your job, your career, your finances with abundance, with prosperity. So be it. So be it. Bless the people you know who are in need. Flood them with golden light. Visualize their lives improving. There's some people you know who are sick, some are struggling with money, with health, with relationships. Visualize their lives turning around. Flood them with golden light. You have all this excess energy. Share it. So be it. So be it, and so it is. Now, be aware of your feet, at the base of your spine. Just project golden light down into the earth, just down like 10 feet or 3 meters. Just flood the earth below you with golden light. Verbally repeat after me. This will bring you back to earth. Otherwise, some of you have to go to work or do something important. You're spacing out, okay? Verbally repeat after me. It brings you down faster into the world. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to Mother Earth. So be it. Now just visualize the earth below you, just literally filled with gold. Golden light. Let that golden light just spread down deep and let it spread wide. So be it. So be it. And so it is. All right, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my beloved teacher, Master Tokok Sui, Mahaguchi Meiling, thank you all for the blessings of love, light, guidance, help, healing, protection. Thank you especially for this privilege and opportunity for world service. We thank you in full faith. So be it. Om. Amen. Amin. Tatastu. And so it is. All right. So I hope you like the meditation. We kind of crank up the current a little bit because it's needed so much in the world. So the more intense we make it, the more energy flows through us. And let me just add one more thing before we sign off. You might have noticed that we extended the silence a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about silence tonight when we get to the evening. You know, it's like 7 hours and 8 minutes from now. We're going to be doing the second part of Anchor the Light today. But I just want to give you a little tip on silence. Silence is a manifestation of soul connection. Okay? What does that mean? When people are noisy, as in, when I say noisy, it's not just verbal noise, mental, emotional noise. That means the soul, the spiritual self, the signal cannot come in. There's too much noise. You know, it's just like if you have a crowded room, when you're talking to somebody across, they can't hear you. Too much noise. So just imagine what is called the voice of silence, which is basically the voice of the higher soul trying to talk to you, can't get through. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I want to know my soul's purpose, I'll do this. Then shut up. Shut up. Be quiet. You cannot hear anything if you're... Get the idea? And the way you do that is doing meditation. Proper meditation cleanses the aura and the chakras. And when it comes to the silence, really take the time to be still and just let the energy flow through. Okay? I'm talking from experience. Give me an idea how terrible I was. I remember when I first learned meditation, Twin Hearts. At some point, my teacher recorded a CD, okay? An audio track. You know what I used to do? there's 3.5. Some of you who've taken practicing, there's a 3.5 minutes of silence. I was so bad. I used to fast forward it. And my teacher said, "Did you meditate?" "Yes, master, I meditate." He didn't say how, because I did not understand it. I thought, I go, "Oh, let the earth be blessed." Okay, the earth is blessed already. Come on, let's get this over with, so I can say I meditated. Then when it comes to the silence, okay, here it comes to the boring part. Then later on I realized, you stupid guy. You just wasted all those years. It's not a complete waste, but I was thinking, if I took advantage of that, what would I be today? But, that's why it's called evolution. You go from dumb to slightly smarter. So I got a little smarter and go, okay, then the silence is important. Clear? Because some of you, I can tell, when we're doing the silence, you're going to go, great. But please, I hope at least you remember that part. All right? Anyway, enough. We will see you tonight, or in 7 hours and 6 minutes, for the evening Anchor the Light meditation. Okay? And just as an announcement, the Wednesday one and the Friday one are going on. They're going to happen. But I'll be in Florida with Tony Robbins, so the time difference, just stay tuned. We'll give an announcement on when those are going to be, because when I get there, we'll be doing UPW for Sydney. So the time change is going to be reversed, and I don't know when I'll be needed. So, but regardless, we'll keep our meditation. Okay, alrighty. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for tolerating my yakety yak. I hope it helps some of you. And any feedback you like, if you say, yeah, you're full of it, I can take it. All right. Namaste. You guys take care. We will see you